are now in beautiful country Palau, and here with you Anna Tutova, co-founder of Coinstelegram, and I have an honor to meet His Excellency, President of Palau, Surangel Whipps. And just today there was announced the launch of legal DID, so you can mint your digital identity on blockchain, and already Palau has implemented last year Palau Digital Residency ID, so you can be anywhere in the world and you can get your Palau residency just online for $248 per year. And as well, Palau has so many other initiatives, like the recently launched pilot for CBDC with Ripple. So we'll talk now more with the president and what's happening here in Palau. Great to have you here.
Well, great to have you visiting us.
Thank you.
It's an exciting week with this conference from attendees from around the world, but all interested in being digital residents or already digital residents, and so it's an exciting time.
Yeah, so can you tell us how did you generally start it with blockchain? When did you first hear about it, as well about cryptocurrency, and why did you decide to implement it in your country?
Well, you know, several years ago when I was running for president, one of the things that I felt was important is that Palau diversify its economy. And we need to look at other areas. We have tourism, we have fishing, but let's look at other areas. And so the financial industry is an area that we wanted to look at. And so from there, this idea of digital residency maybe can expand into having corporations and other services to help the financial industry. Palau's biggest advantage is it's small. We're a sovereign country, so we can move quickly. So the digital residency concept, I met people in August from Cryptic Labs that could maybe do it, and by December we had a law in place and we already had launched it. So that's one advantage that we have as a small island, and what we want to be able to do is really embrace the new technology that's out there and see how we can use it to improve people's lives and, you know, provide freedom. I think that's what this whole blockchain is all about, is decentralizing and providing everybody freedom.
And before implementing blockchain in government services, did you experience blockchain technology on your personal side, or did you invest into crypto or something like that?
Yeah, just, you know, Bitcoin, and for a lot of friends that are in Bitcoin and Ethereum and other cryptos, that was my experience in blockchain. Was just from the cryptocurrencies.
So which year did you first invest into any Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Really when we started talking about the blockchain, which is several years ago, that's when we first sparked our interest. So I'm very new at it.
And what was your first impression when you discovered this technology? What was your vision for that? Did you get it straight away that it has big future, or did you have any doubts first?
You know, I'm an entrepreneur in my life before politics, and so I always believe that we should always embrace new technologies, see how we can use them to improve our lives. So innovation is key, and we shouldn't fear technology. And I think sometimes we're afraid, and that's, I think, in the crypto space, that's what a lot of it revolves around, is people fear. But you've got to take one step at a time, and that's what we're doing here, is just taking those baby steps, but trying to move really the adaptation, the understanding, and these conferences that we're having helps people in that space.
Yeah, it's very educational and helps a lot of people. And as well, you told before that you took some experience of Estonia with the digital residency. So which other countries did you look for the experience, and maybe you cooperate and show currently to other countries how to do it?
Yeah, so definitely we had observed how fast and how successful Estonia's program has been. And that was one of the countries that we think have done a fantastic job and something that we can learn from. And we're in the Pacific, on the other side of the globe, and so we see a lot of opportunity in Asia for us to expand our footprint. So on that Estonia model, that's where we think that we need to start registering corporations and doing other activities. So baby steps, but we're getting there.
And you mentioned as well that you currently have issued over 10,000 Palau digital IDs. Do you have any statistics from which countries do people usually get these IDs?
Well,
the biggest interest.
Yeah, so right now it's from 55 different countries. So just sitting in the room today, the digital residents, of course there was Canadians, Chinese, Latvians. Of course you're from Ukraine, so it's kind of all over. But there are 55 countries. The populous countries, of course, are the most. So China, U.S., Canada, I think have the most so far, and then it's growing. But last we checked, there's 55 different countries. So.
And you talked as well a lot about freedom, that everybody should have freedom of decision where they can invest, and everybody should have access to crypto. So as well, Palau Digital ID was promoted as another option for the people where crypto is banned to get access to the exchanges and get crypto. But as well, all these exchanges should be regulatorily compliant, and some as well have the issues with the regulators. So currently not all exchanges except Palau ID. So can you comment on that matter?
Not all exchange. We're working, it's about partnership and about them trusting our system and us trusting them. So you have to be able to trust each other. So for every digital residence, we require them to go through a KYC process. And so through that process, hopefully that helps them trust the ID, and then it can be used on more and more platforms. That's our goal.
And can you tell us more about the difference of Palau ID and today's launched legal DID? How they are different? So as I understand, you can legal DID can be minted by any residents from any country. So they just checked your website. They can currently buy it and mint it for $10. So what is the verification process, and how can they apply for the legal DID?
That I would need a more technical expert to explain the process, which would be Brill Wang, who runs the RNS platform for us. But we saw Vitalik just go on today and do it. If you're a crypto person, it's easy. For me, I still have to study how to do it. So
I got it.
Yeah.
And on which blockchain do you have Palau ID, as well on Ethereum, or do you use any other blockchain?
Well, we had it on Ethereum and on Binance.
So you currently support two blockchains?
Correct. BNS, I think it's BNS.
BNB chain.
BNB, correct. The BNB chain.
And as well, can you tell more about your pilot with Ripple on CBDC? Why, Palau is dollar. It doesn't have its own national currency. You have
Correct.
dollars. So why did you decide to test out CBDC? And can you tell whether it's wholesale CBDC or retail CBDC?
Wholesale or retail?
Retail is just for people, for average users, just to pay in the shops, and wholesale is for cross-border payments, for the
Got it.
trade.
So I think what we're starting with is retail. So it's more for payments internally within the country. And then we want to expand to be wholesale. But really, we use US dollars. But you'll find times in Palau where they'll be short of dollar bills. They'll be short of coins, like pennies and nickels, because we use US dollars, and it's very hard for them to bring the currency here for us to use and put in circulation. So creating the Palau stablecoin allows us to transact reasonably. Of course, you have credit cards that can do that now, but this is at a more reasonable cost, and also helps the unbankable, and then helps us solve that problem of running out of currency in the local market. And we're hoping that from there, we can expand it so that it can be used for cross-border payments and all those kinds of things later on, but step by step.
And what's the percentage of population is unbanked in Palau?
Uh, that's hard to say. Maybe 30%. But then there's, because there's a lot of transaction fees involved at the bank sometimes, and then they require minute deposit. So having digital wallets and making it easy for the small entrepreneur to get payments and all that is really the future.
Yeah.
And so I really see this as an opportunity for small businesses and people that are unbankable or that have limited resources to use this system to reduce cost and increase trade.
Yeah, that's quite changing for them.
Yeah.
And as well, can you tell more how is this pilot test going with Ripple? Like, who are the testers? Like any merchants now testing this?
Yeah, so we had 3 merchants that were early adapters, so they signed up to the program and they were able to process it. I mean, it wasn't perfect, not as fast as we wanted it to be, but we've started the process. So now we go to the next round, and try a few more things. So I mean that's what we're doing now.
And who are the testers? Is there like a group of people who test this CBDC?
There was 200 volunteers that were part of it, and hopefully we can now expand that, and then eventually go to the point where those people that want to participate will put in their money, a way to put their money in, take it out, all of those things. So that's the first we just gave them wallets with money in it so they can go spend. So that was easy. Now we get to the next part: how to put money in, how to take money out. That
takes time, this educational process.
Yes.
And as well, some other countries, like for example El Salvador, which as well doesn't have its own currency, they have only US dollar. They adopted Bitcoin in 2021 as legal tender. What are your views on this step, and do you have any other similar plans to do so?
I think you accept credit cards. Ideally, what you want to be able to do is you be able to accept stablecoin. You should be able to, if people show up here with crypto and they want to pay their hotel bill, we should be able to accept that. That should be easy enough. So that's part of the development of this stablecoin and the CBDC platform, is so that we can really help, I think, make it easy for people to use what their assets that they have.
So you will just legalize crypto payments here, but won't make it like official currency.
Yeah, and it's already legal. You could take it as payment. You just have to have the system in place to take it as payment.
Yeah. And can you tell as well some more plans on the implementation of blockchain in the government services, and as well crypto payments, and as well how do you plan to attract crypto businesses to come here to Palau?
Well, I think we're still in the beginning stages, so we're looking at other programs that we can adapt to. Like, for example, next step is having an address, maybe a phone, local phone. Those are the things that we're adapting to, and then the other thing we're looking at is setting up corporations, digital corporations, e-registry. So those are the next steps, and then we'll just continue to grow from there. When we have these conferences, we get more ideas of what we can do. So that's what we are. We're open to ideas.
Do you think Palau can become the next capital of different digital entrepreneurs, nomads coming here?
We hope to be. Yeah. So we want to learn from those digital nomads and our digital residents what programs we can do to enhance their use and their value of being a digital resident. So that's what we want to do is to get that innovation. We need ideas.
Yeah, that's great to see such innovative government and such proponents of different innovations and implementation of new technologies. Thanks for sharing your expertise and your experience with us. And hope to see much more developments here in Palau, and much more entrepreneurs come to see your beautiful country.
Well, we hope so too. Thank you for visiting us, and please invite more people from your country and your friends to come and visit Palau.
Okay.
So that's what the other thing that we're hoping to happen is that our digital residents will also be the digital tourist, but not digitally, come and visit. So you can see what country you're a part of, yes.
Maybe you should set up your Palau office in the Metaverse so you will have digital tourists there too.
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.